Joe and Hampton, lights dim, it's game time. Interview sharp, cut through like a shank line.
That's Joe
All right,
Cuts right
Stick
there.
Lounge. We're on Facebook, Stick Lounge. We're on Instagram at Stick_Lounge. YouTube at Stick_Lounge_podcast. TikTok at Stick.Lounge.podcast. Email sticklounge@DAT creolesoul.com. You guys want to use the Stick Lounge podcast studio? Hit us up. We got everything set up. We'll set you up, create some content. You want to use the Stick Lounge itself? Hell yeah, you do. We got a full PA system set up for 4 mics. We've got 70-inch TV. We've got darts. We've got cards. We've got chess. We've got bones. I think we got Uno. We got everything, guys. Hit us up. You want to do private party karaoke? You want to watch a movie with your friends? You want to have a birthday party? That's what it's here for. Des Moines, Washington, right off Marine View Drive, right above Creole Soul. Thanks for listening. All right. Stick Lounge Podcast. What's up, Hamp?
What's going on, man? Another glorious day in the PNW. Cold as hell.
Another gray, rainy day in the PNW.
Freezing to death. You hear
It was
me?
cold in this room today, too.
Tell me about it.
So what's up, man? What's going on with Creole?
Oh, man, listen, I've been busy. We got a lot of catering, which is good. I'm not complaining because that means the trucks will stay parked.
Yeah.
And I just drive my pickup truck and drop stuff off, So catering is a winner. If
Yeah.
you're ever in the restaurant business and you can double team the building and the catering job, that's a winner.
That's the way to go.
That's the way to go. Most people start with a restaurant, but the catering is the ticket.
I can tell you every restaurant I've ever been in, I was like, I don't want anything to do with running one of these things. I've known a lot of people that have worked in the industry, and I'm like, no, thanks.
It's a lot of work, especially with the restaurant and the food truck, So I got both hands full.
There you go.
So I got just did a catering job today. They're gonna pick it up on Saturday, and we got a party up here on the 22nd.
On the
birthday party.
29th.
No, 22nd.
Oh, that's one that you booked.
Yeah,
that's right.
Christine.
That's right. Yeah.
And,
We got too many calendars going, man. Way too many calendars.
got that going on, and then we got live music on Saturday with the Duo Brothers.
Duo Brothers, yeah.
Yeah, which will be back in the house Saturday from 8 to 11. So
Nice.
you want to hear some good guitar playing and some good singing. Those guys, they definitely got it going on. So
Yeah.
So, but that's about it for us. Me and then Creole Soul, like I said, it's just busy with catering and hoping it was get better soon. So
Open. We got teased there for a little bit.
all the inside people can come back outside and cruise on over to that soul spot, Creole Soul, 22341 Marine View Drive.
Yeah, buddy.
Yeah, Backstage Alley.
Backstage Alley.
Yeah.
Cool. Yeah, for Stick Lounge, we've got, let's see. Iris and Peony is having an arrangement class up here on the 26th, Wednesday the 26th. And you can get those tickets from Robin on her Instagram. So check that out. And then the 29th, we are booked out for a birthday party. Let's see. The 22nd. Wait a minute. Did you say you got a birthday party on the 22nd?
Yeah.
What time?
From
22nd of this month?
Yeah.
That's when I scheduled the Mario Kart tournament.
What?
I could change the date.
Yeah, it's
we got to put our calendars together, man.
it's from 2
Double
to
booked already.
Yeah, double
from
booked already.
Like 2 to 6, something like that.
Yeah, I
Idiot.
started at 1 o'clock for the tournament.
Yeah. I don't know how that comes.
Man, I even told you.
I told you too. I think Christine, co-worker's having one of the 80th birthday party up here.
Yeah, but you also said you had somebody for the podcast on Sunday, and that's not happening.
For the podcast on Sunday?
Yeah, remember? You said, book this spot.
Oh, the 16th.
This Sunday,
Yeah. I said, we're going to hold this spot. I said, then we confirmed yesterday that Christine said they're not going to do it.
Okay. We'll talk more about that later.
Yeah,
all right. So we have a Mario Kart tournament coming up. Probably not going to be on the 22nd now. We'll have to change that date. It's not a big deal. Only got 2 people signed up so far. So, and that's it for now. We're looking at Speakeasy Nights starting April 5th. So watch out for that. And for Creole, one more thing I want to touch on. We are already starting to plan the Pride Party for June. Oh yeah. We got DJ lined up and everything.
Got DJ lined up, everything.
Cool.
Yep.
Should be good. Should be big. We're gonna make it big.
Yeah, we would like to shut down the alley.
There we go. That's the plan right now. We're working on that. So
block it off completely and just go for it.
there you go. All right. Anything else?
No, that's right now I can think of.
Cool. Let's introduce our guest. We got Jason here tonight.
Hey.
What's up, Jason?
What's going on, man? What's happening? Welcome to the.
How's it going?
Yeah, thanks for having me.
Yeah. So is your last name Bliss?
Bliss.
It is Bliss. Okay. I saw that on Instagram, but
Yeah.
some people put stuff on Instagram that's just whatever.
Just a cool name.
And it's a cool name. So I wasn't sure. So
It's
it is
real.
Jason Bliss.
Yeah.
Awesome, man. Well, nice to see you in here. I'm glad you came today.
Yeah, thanks for having me.
And you are the owner
Yeah.
of the Waterland Arcade?
Yep.
Awesome, man. Hell yeah. I love that spot. I've been there many times.
So good.
It's very cool. So let me ask, are you from this region originally?
I'm not, but my wife is. I'm
Okay.
from Northern California. I grew up in Napa.
Okay. When did you move out here?
We moved out here in 2005.
2005?
Yeah.
Okay.
So
Been
I've
here longer than me.
quite a while. Yeah.
When did you open up the arcade?
I took over the arcade in 2019.
Oh, so it was
had
there
actually
before?
started a few years prior, I think maybe 2016.
Gotcha.
And by the time 2019 came, it was mostly closed, only open for private events. So
Okay.
my hope was to buy the arcade and open it full time, all the time.
Nice, nice.
Yeah.
Pull that in just a little bit closer for you. Just want to make sure I'm getting you.
All the time.
There you go.
I hear it.
So, how was it stocked up when you bought it, or
No,
Okay.
no, it was pretty sparse with games. I think I fixed maybe 5 or 6 of the broken ones, sold a few
Oh, wow.
others, and then brought in about 50 games.
Okay, so you actually work on them too.
Yeah, I learned a lot on the job actually.
It was OJT.
My first 6 months there, I was like in the games. I'd pop up and hit my head on my way out. I'd come out all cut up, and my friends would be like, "Did you get in a fight with a cat?" I was like, "No, I've been inside this pinball machine." And it's like,
And that's a huge thing too, man.
Yeah.
Pinball people love pinball.
yeah,
I see you guys do pinball tournaments over there.
we do. Yeah, we have one this Saturday also. This
Nice.
Saturday night. Yeah, once a month we do a pinball tournament. We also host Seattle's Monday Night Pinball League too.
Nice.
We have our own team.
Does it pack up pretty good?
On Monday Night Pinball nights, there's 20 people there, 20 players.
Wow.
On our monthly tournament, it ranges anywhere from 8 to 16 players usually.
Very cool.
Yeah.
Awesome, man. Very, very awesome. So what always had a love of video games, always
Yeah.
wanted to own an arcade. How did this all come about?
I always wanted to own a bar.
Okay.
And originally, like before I got into this, I wanted to own like a lounge or like a blues club specifically. Yeah.
Tell me about it, man. You know, that's my dream.
That
So
was
go ahead.
my dream. It was like a jazz club, right?
That's
like,
cool.
do you remember? I think it was called like Highway 89 in Soto. I can't remember what the name of it. But
I don't know.
there was this blues club like on the other side of Pike Place, kind of in downtown Seattle, and I just remember watching blues artists there and just being like, "This, I would love to have something like this."
Something chill.
Yeah. So
very cool.
So owning a bar with some like cool like reason to be there, not just as a bar to drink at, right? So
Right.
that's what I always wanted. And I love music, and I play it also myself. So
Yeah, you do.
so I was thinking, I play his piano sometimes.
Nice, nice.
So I was thinking,
Oh yeah, you were telling me about that.
when there's no booked artists, maybe I could get to play with it. Whoever's,
yeah,
and
for sure.
I love the idea of a session band, right? The house band.
Yeah.
And so they always are there, like, say, Wednesday nights or Thursday nights. And then we book other artists other nights. Shoot, I'm planning a bar I don't even have. What is going on?
Next steps, man. Next steps.
That's okay, though. You know, it can happen.
Yeah. So then the
definitely.
opportunity for the arcade came up. And what I was trying to do was just get an arcade machine. I would just for my house. Like,
Oh, really?
Just to build with my kids.
Okay.
Yeah,
okay.
I was looking for like a project.
Okay.
I like to like screw around with random projects and
I
stuff.
got you.
So
I tend to get myself into that too.
yeah. So that's how it all started. I just built this.
Here's the
I built
podcast.
one. Yeah, you built this from scratch too. Yeah.
So you built one from scratch.
I built one from scratch first, and then my kids, of course, they're playing all the classics, Frogger, Street Fighter 2,
Right, yeah.
and they're
Nice.
just like lit up playing these
Yeah.
games, right?
That's cool.
And that's what gave me the idea. I was like, oh, this is great. I should like maybe get some more classic arcade machines and work on them with the kids. So I was researching games to buy, like anything locally, like is there anything for sale? And Waterland was closed and selling their games. And
Oh,
so
okay.
I said, hey, why are you selling all your games? And they're like, well, we're closing and
Done deal.
selling off our games. Yeah,
They weren't even trying to sell the business at that point. They were just.
they
kind of-
were.
Oh, they were.
I didn't know about that. But
Okay,
yeah, it
okay.
was like they had already been trying to sell it for
Okay.
some time, I think.
Oh,
And
I see. So no bidders at the time.
Yeah, as far as I know. So I said, what if I just what if
Buy
I did
all the
this?
games.
Yeah, buy all the games.
Yeah, you want a coupon?
I always wanted a bar, right?
There you go.
And
Yeah.
they did sell beer there. So it was already like a little beer bar, right?
Yeah.
With a cute like tiki lounge kind of
Mm-hmm.
vibe. And so I was like, I can just bring in all new games, get rid of the broken games, make it like as bring my own kind of spin to it. So
Yeah.
that's what I did.
That's awesome. How long did it take you to track all those games down and stuff? Are they readily available, arcade games? I mean, there's not many arcades around
Right.
anymore.
Well,
There's like Dave and
Seattle,
Buster's. There's like big, like they got like VR now and all the shooter games
yeah,
and
they
all
keep
that stuff.
they keep a stable of like older games.
Okay.
Actually, Seattle loves its arcades, and
Oh, okay.
there's a lot of like bars with arcade games. Like there's a bunch. So right off the bat, I met some of the owners of fellow arcades and became friends with them. And then
Nice.
partly I would meet them because they're like selling a game, and then I'd get to know them, and they would like help me out. They're like, "Hey, Junior, let me show you how we do this in
Come
Seattle."
on in here, boy.
Yeah, because they're like super generous. So that's
Okay,
one thing
that's awesome.
I loved
Good
about
community.
good community.
That's
Yeah,
cool.
right off the bat.
Very cool. Awesome. So how long did it take you to get you where you are now? I mean, I know you said the bar was there. I know you guys have a bar. You do beer and wine or just beer?
Just beer.
Just beer. Okay. I've had beer over there, played games.
Yeah.
How long did it take you to get your stable set up the way it is with everything you got in there?
Really, I would say it was about a year.
Okay.
I thought 1 year in, I was pretty happy with it. I was feeling like this place is getting dialed.
Right.
We had rearranged the layout of the space about 3 times.
Okay.
And we were like, the flow is good, and it's like it's really working. And then COVID hit.
Oh no.
So that's really
There's a lot of stories with
that was
that.
our 1 year mark. Really,
Yeah.
was February, March 2020,
Gotcha.
and then that whole year was pretty much closed. We were pretty much closed all year, or most of the year. So
That's rough.
during that year, of course, we were open, so I could do whatever I want. I think I redid the floor, and then I really got bit by the pinball bug that year, and just bought way too many pinball machines.
Those things are expensive too, huh?
Yeah, I went from like 8 to 27.
I know that,
I just went crazy.
I know that, I mean, I don't know, but I know that people that try to do like a little arcade pool room in their house,
Yeah.
like the pinball machine is damn near more expensive than the pool table sometimes, you know,
Yeah,
they're not cheap.
new pinball machines are $7,000
Okay,
to
yeah.
$9,000.
That's crazy.
Yeah, and then used ones, like older ones, start around $2,000. They're often around $4,000 or $5,000.
Wow.
Do you have an age limit over there, or do you have more young
All
kids or
ages.
more adults?
It's more adults. It's about 2/3 adults and 1/3 non-adults of all ages.
Because I find it interesting, you get
Yeah.
grown men,
lot of adults,
a lot
yeah.
of adults playing playing arcades, so
Yeah, sometimes, people reach out to us and they're like, oh, I'm bringing my kids. Do I need to pay? Because we charge admission.
Right.
And then
Right.
all the games are free at the arcade.
Yeah.
So, by the way, we can talk about that a little bit too.
Oh, yeah, totally.
Changing pricing models over time and figuring out what's the most fun and the balance between like revenue and like
Yeah,
people
definitely.
finding a great value.
Right. We're doing the same thing here with the lounge.
Yeah.
We're trying to not charge an arm and a leg for the space, but
Right.
also we got to make money.
You got to
know what
balance
I
it,
mean?
yeah. So that took us a few years to figure out, and it was really interesting to like test different pricing models and then kind of evolve over time.
Right.
So what we do now is, you pay a $15 entry, and then all the games are included. So
Which I really like.
yeah, and kids don't come back to their parents saying, "Hey, can I have more quarters?" Over and over again.
Exactly why I
It's
really
just
like
go play.
Yep, go
So
play.
I think it's a tremendous value.
Yes, I do. I
And-
agree 100%.
Yeah, and it worked out well for us too. Our revenue actually went up after we did that. So
That's
we
awesome.
saw an increase in revenue,
Yeah.
even like with the same amount of people.
Yeah.
So that was cool.
That
and
makes sense,
and the
though.
parents, they don't know before they come. They're like, this is just for the kids, right? So they get there,
Mm-hmm.
and we're like, no, I mean, it's like the zoo. You don't pay, you don't like say, what if I don't look at the animals? Do I like not have
Yeah.
to pay? Like once you're in the zoo,
That's
you
it.
just look at the animals.
Yeah.
And so all the parents play, and then they realize right away, they're like, oh, this is for me, right?
Yeah,
and even though like
exactly.
the moms and dads or grandparents, doesn't matter, like they're stuck on some game. It might be like Cubert.
I was
or
going to say, you got the retro games in there, which
Cubert,
is
or yeah,
awesome.
they'll be like, and then they bring their kids over and be like, let me show you. I used to be really good at this when I was
Yep.
little. So it
That's
creates
exactly what
these
happens.
neat moments
Uh-huh.
for parents and kids to like bond. So
That's why I asked that
Totally
question.
agree.
yeah, people ask me all the time. They're like, well, we don't have to pay, right? I'm like, you will. You want. You're
you want
gonna
to.
end up wanting to play. So I'm
Yeah.
like, technically, you could stay in the bar area and not be in the arcade area, but
Right.
you're not gonna want to.
But you can take the beers out to the arcade too,
Yeah.
right? Yeah. Yeah, I remember doing that. So have you been in there? Yeah.
No, besides the time that
What's
not
the
to-
ceiling height in there? Can you fit in there?
He can fit.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
I mean,
like,
I wouldn't know. I've never touched it.
I like the idea that you got that $15 price. It's kind of remind me of an amusement park growing up.
Yeah.
Called Lake Pontchartrain, which was Pontchartrain Beach, and they had a POP
Yeah.
for a band ride. Pay one price.
Yeah.
And then just ride
and
those
they
rides
just
over
get
and
you
over again.
all the rides
Yeah.
over and over and over. So that was a great Great idea
Yeah.
right there. Yeah.
That's the best thing as a parent because inevitably your kids are going to come back and be like, I want more. I
Yeah.
want more. I want more.
Yeah, totally.
Yeah.
The only time it's been like, the only time it's been like not a resounding hit is when, you know, this may be why we have fewer like teenagers who are like 13. Remember when you were a kid, 13, you might have $2 in quarters.
Yep,
And
exactly.
you're like, I want to play this. We have kids come in crumple bill, right?
I want to play this much.
And so the reason why it ended up working for us because it raises the minimum to $15, really.
Yeah.
Whereas before, maybe a lot of people would have paid $2.
Sure.
And they're out of money and then they leave.
Yeah.
And so there's a little bit more of a barrier, but once you hit that barrier, it's like way better.
Oh,
so
yeah. I agree.
It's a balance.
Yeah, who wants to buy individual tickets every single time?
I know.
To play a game. You know?
9-year-olds with $1.50.
with the crumpled dollar.
No, so that was a great idea. No, I mean,
What do you think about doing something like that for the bar? You pay one price, you drink all you want.
hey, listen, that's not a bad idea. Trust me, don't get me on that thought pattern, okay? Because I mean, like,
I mean, you got the what do you call it? The soul setup now?
yeah, I got the soul setup.
Oh, you
So
can
yeah,
drink.
we can talk about the soul setup. So the soul setup is a thing.
I didn't mean to take your time, Jason.
That's okay. The soul setup is a thing that we do down south. So you walk into a bar and the bartender say, "What would you like?" And you would say, "I like a setup." So what it is it's a half a pint of whatever you want to drink, a mixer, a bucket of ice, and however many cups you want. So that keeps you from running back to the bar. They're gonna bring you the whole setup and set it right in front of your table, and you get to pour it out yourself. You know,
So with that and the mimosas, you kind of have.
yeah, with that and mimosas,
You
yeah.
kinda have a-
But yeah, but on a weekly basis, you know, you may not want mimosa. You may want like a Clyde Mays or something.
want
you
some
know?
Clyde.
Yeah,
I
you
like me
know?
some Clyde.
You may want some Clydes with, you know, the mixer and so. Yeah, you know, we're trying to get it started down there. So if you guys come to Creosote, ask for a setup.
When you say a pint,
Make you pay me for an ad
do you
spot.
mean like if they went even like vodka or bourbon, you're bringing them a pint of it or what?
Yeah.
Oh, wow. I get it. So
Yeah.
you can make your drinks all night from that pint.
From that pint, that's
Okay.
right.
I
Is
like
it a pint or half a pint?
You can do a pint or half pint. They do half pints down south, you know. So I can either do either one of them. But yeah, you just make your drinks all night
I like
from
that.
there.
That's a good idea, right?
Yeah.
Has anybody used it yet? I see that you get the stuff
Not
set
yet.
up.
I just started putting the things on the table, so you
Okay.
know. But yeah, just ask for a soul setup, and you guarantee you like it.
Yeah, I mean, I would. Pay you once, you know.
pay once
Good to
and,
go.
and make your drinks at the table. You ain't got to get up.
All right. Let's go back to Jason. This
Yeah,
is his
let's
hour.
do that. Yeah. Sorry, Jason.
Now, the 9-year-olds who come in with $1.50, they won't be able to afford the soul setup. though.
No,
So
no,
they're kind of-
no.
It's mostly for grown-ups.
that's the winos.
Just like my price of them.
They can get a piece of catfish or a hush puppy. Or
We
something.
orient our businesses at grown-ups, apparently, which is good because they're the ones with money anyways.
There you go.
Right?
Right.
So,
I mean, even like I said, like I don't know the ones in Seattle that are kind of styled like yours, but I know like the Dave and Buster's and stuff.
Yeah.
That's beer and food, and
Yeah.
it's a place where parents can go chill and the
Yeah.
kids can go play. You
yeah.
know?
So that was my pitch to my wife when I considered, buying this arcade bar. I was like, okay, you know how...
Hear me out.
Yeah. What we want to do... Yeah, well, my original pitch was, can I buy this arcade bar? And she's
she
like,
said no.
no. Why would you buy an
What
arcade
the
bar?
hell are you talking about?
And I don't mean like I'm like a kid asking mom.
No,
you know
I
what
get it.
mean?
I totally
But
get it,
like
dude.
just spouse to spouse, partner to partner.
Oh, yeah.
Like, hey, should we do
Oh,
this?
hey,
Yeah,
you
you're
say
Like,
partner.
no, we probably
Oh,
shouldn't
shit.
do this.
Wait. It's a long story.
It's a long
Is
story.
this live?
Yeah.
Is this live? Or we edit this.
We're editing. Don't worry.
Anyway, and so then I was like, okay, well, I think the benefit for us is like it's a place we can go on a date while our kids play, right? And
Yeah.
we need more places like that in general, right?
For sure.
So that was the original idea for it. Like
Mm-hmm.
for our interest in it was that exact thing. Like create a place where adults hang out and their kids play, and you have this like community moment where people are together, social, right?
Yeah, I've been to
So-
birthday parties there and everything. It really works
Yeah.
well. How old are your kids?
Well, at the time they were much younger, but now they're 10, 13, 16, and 18.
You got a lot of kids, man.
Yeah, you're busy, huh?
Don't quick, tell me their names.
Yeah, what's the names?
1, 2.
Well, they're all about to have a birthday. That's why it's
Gotcha.
like, okay, have they had it yet? No, they have a birthday next month. So
Yeah, two of my daughters, their birthdays are both in July. So it's always like, oh God, right at the same time.
yeah, I have one child is April 19th and one is April 18th.
Oh, wow.
And so when
Close.
sometimes it's like, what's your kid's birthday? And if I hesitate, it's like, I mean, come on, it's like
Yeah.
one or the other. I forget. Just hold on.
It happens, kids.
I'll get it.
I've done it myself. It happens. You're not alone, man.
Dad, it's my birthday today, okay? Just let you know.
That's why you just celebrate them at the same time.
Yeah. Your child, what's your
Which one?
July 3rd and July 24th, right?
Yes.
Look
at you.
How old are yours?
My youngest is 17, then 19, then 25. She'll be 26 in May.
Okay.
So that's my oldest, yeah.
Yeah, my daughter just had a birthday, February 17th.
Yeah.
She's 40.
Okay. Damn.
You guys got to give me notes then. I'm a little behind you.
You're running behind. So are your kids like, do they still enjoy the arcade?
Yeah, they love it actually.
Are they like, my dad owns the arcade. No big deal.
No, they're proud of it and they
That's
enjoy
awesome.
going. We were there for my wife's birthday last week.
Yeah.
And we brought all the kids, and they played, and they had a really great time. Yeah. And it's cool because you're right. Like they've grown up there over the last 6 years,
Right.
and so it's not still like ho hum. And I also change the games all the time, so like it's not like it's been the same games for the last 6 years
Yeah.
either.
You don't get bored.
So, no, they don't get bored.
Nice. Do they work with you there? Are you teaching them how to work on video games?
Well, that was
and all
my
kind
other
of stuff?
pitch to my wife was like, and then our kids can work there, right? I was like, this creates like built-in jobs.
Well, and
right?
learn how to manage
Seriously.
a business and stuff.
Yeah,
I totally
yeah.
agree. I
had
totally
this
agree.
whole plan, right?
Yeah. That's why you have 4 kids.
and
Labor force.
we've made that joke. It's a little workforce. We have that joke.
Exactly.
Hasn't worked out though. Like one of them, I had my son help with cleaning the games. In cleaning pinball, you got to remove the glass, and you have the special
It was like a silica dust or
cleaning
something?
solution
Okay.
that you use to clean a playfield. Did that a few times, but not a ton of interest in like having it be the job. The other hang up was to work at the arcade, you got to kind of serve beer, so you have to be at least 18.
Yeah.
So I only have one kid eligible to even work there, really.
Yeah.
And so maybe when he's 21 and could work there solo, it would make sense for them to like work there if they wanted to.
Right.
My daughter's the only one who's really showed any interest in wanting to work there.
Okay.
The other kids just like playing the games there.
Right.
How old is your daughter?
She's 16 now.
16,
Well, she'll
yeah.
be 17 next.
So
yeah,
she's getting
next
close.
Yeah.
Getting close.
So
Hold
she,
out.
she would do well there. She would enjoy it. But
Nice.
but yeah, that doesn't seem like a path that they're like super stoked to go down. So whatever. Plus now I've built this great stable of employees and they have it like completely like down.
Right.
So I don't really want to like, hey, the owner's kid is gonna work here now. It's kinda stupid.
So the guy that was doing cornhole, is he works at the arcade?
Yeah,
What was
yeah.
his name? I'm sorry.
Monty.
Monty. Okay, cool.
Yeah, so
nice guy.
he works there. He's there most days, 5 days a week. Yeah,
Nice.
and then we have 4 other employees too. 2 of them are focused more on repairs and tech.
Mm-hmm.
One of them is a really really great pinball technician in the Seattle area. So I've been really thankful, honestly, super blessed to have him like join our team.
Nice.
And then the other one's learned most of how to repair these games on the job as well. He has an electronics background, so
Very
he
cool.
focuses on the arcade repairs mostly, and the other one does a lot of pinball repairs.
Is there a lot of repairs for those?
Yeah.
Is it because people are mashing on the
Lot of-
buttons and
A
stuff?
lot
Yeah.
of moving parts.
Yeah, we have about 1,000 customers a month. At
Really?
least. Actually, we have about 1,400, including private parties.
Congratulations,
Yeah,
man. Wait,
so-
let me do a.
Yeah. So yeah,
That's great.
sweet.
No, that's great. I wish I was getting 1,000 customers a month up here. That'd be great.
where's the laugh track for us?
Oh, I
too,
got
right?
one. Hold on. Let's see. Let me see if I can find it. I don't use that one that much.
You should. This show's funny.
There it is.
That's awesome.
I saved that one.
We try to keep it interesting.
We're usually laughing
Yeah.
ourselves a lot. So.
Yeah, that's awesome. So, anyways, the
So what-
1,000 people they beat on the games quite hard. And pinball, you got this ball flying, hitting all the
Yeah.
pieces like at
Yeah,
high
that one I
speeds,
understand
at high
for
power.
sure. Yeah.
And the parts are expensive. It's like super high maintenance. So
Gotcha.
pinball is for sure like the most breakable.
Mm.
Everything else is pretty reliable, but there's always like some problems. Like
get
one
the-
time I had 5 monitors break at like the same month.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Wow.
That's the guy that bumped the table, you know, playing pinball.
Yeah, that's right.
Slamming into
or
it.
they're throwing the machine like they're
Yeah.
super hard and
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Man, I guess I never got that aggressive with my guns.
I mean, well, we discourage that, but
Sure.
that's how they.
I mean, air hockey, I'll be slamming it, man.
Yeah.
Slamming it air hockey.
You
But
watch a pinball player for about 15, 20 minutes, you see him.
Yeah, they get aggressive.
get into it.
Yeah.
Like you sitting at your bar when the Saints are losing.
Yeah, exactly.
Knocking it off the damn
Beating on
ground.
the goddamn table, you know. Shit. Concrete coming up.
Dude, I know. Well, the games are tough. They're meant to be like played, but
Yeah,
they still break all the time.
Yeah.
So.
Maintenance.
So yeah, I got employees keep them busy with repairs for sure.
That's great. Are you to a point now where you're just kind of managing the space?
Yeah, I'll repair things sometimes because I live right down the street. So it's easy for me to pop in and fix something. If my employees aren't on shift, then I can come and fix it if I
Right.
can. Anything beyond my skill set is where they come in too, like,
Nice.
which is awesome because they're able to do repairs that are like beyond my capabilities.
Right. Got your
And
back.
we've expanded out of the arcade too. So during COVID, we rented games at people's houses, and so
really?
everyone was like, "Hey, I want to play pinball. I can't go out to the bars; they're all closed." So a lot of me and a lot of other arcade owners would like rent out our games at people's houses.
That's cool.
And so then when things reopened, it was like, oh, do I bring these games back? And there what I ended up doing was finding other bars that wanted pinball. So we started putting games in other places. So now I have like 4 other venues with games as well.
Oh, nice, man.
Oh, you're doing well.
That's great.
You're
That's
rolling.
great. I think maybe we set something up where you rent a pinball machine and you get the liquor from Hamp, and we just come to the house and you're ready to rock and roll. You got a bar in the house. A couple soul setups and a pinball machine, ready to go.
I mean, that's what my house is.
There you go. Perfect.
I have 5 pinball machines and 3 arcade machines in my basement.
Oh, no kidding?
Yeah, everybody
That's awesome,
should.
man. Yeah, there you go. I like it. I like it. So what was your background? Did you, before owning
Oh,
this?
yeah. I do have a job, by the way. So it's not that this is my job.
Okay, I
job.
was gonna ask,
actually
so-
have a job. This
Okay.
is just for, like I like to say, for fun.
Sure. Okay.
And it is fun for
Yeah.
me. This is super fun.
So you're doing this and your day job at the same time.
Yeah. My day job is I manage engineers. I work for the movie site IMDb.
Oh, no kidding.
Yeah,
Okay.
IMDb.com.
We were just talking
Okay.
about that the other day because we
Yeah.
had Larry Snyder in here.
Oh, yeah.
And he was talking about how he has been in a couple movies, helping with production and stuff for some, what is it called? The drag boats out here. What do they call them? I can't remember. Anyways, he went on this. He told us a story about how he helped rebuild this boat, and it was a movie, and they put it in a movie. So he ended up helping on the movie. And I asked him if he had an IMDb, but
Does he?
didn't. No, he didn't. I
Hey,
guess. So.
Tell him to hit me up. We can get him one. We can make. He should have one.
Yeah, I mean, anybody that's been involved has one,
Yeah.
pretty much, right?
Yeah, he should.
Yeah. Okay.
I caught the clip of him talking about the volunteering he did with the fires in Santa
Yes,
Monica.
yeah.
That was awesome.
Yeah, he's been, well, that's what he does. He gets around and does all that stuff.
That's great.
Great guy, really good guy. So you're still doing that. You were doing that before, and you just threw the arcade into the mix.
Yeah, I started as an engineer. I graduated college like studying software, and then
Nice.
2008 became a manager at Amazon, managing software teams.
Okay.
And then sort of, over time you sort of change roles, move into different parts of the company, and rinse and repeat. So now I'm at IMDb doing similar type of thing.
Okay. Cool.
And I like to think about it like this, like that job funds this job.
Yeah.
Right. So
Yeah.
like the income I've made from one from my day job helps me buy pinball machines, which
Sure.
I use to fill the arcades.
I understand completely.
Yeah. I'm kind of doing the same thing here, not to the same extent, but I've been in construction
Yeah.
my whole life, and finally I'm at a point where now I'm in the office, right? So I have time and a little bit of extra money to invest in this, invest in the lounge, get some
Yeah.
stuff going with Hamp, So
Yeah.
I feel you.
Yeah, and I think that's more and more normal these days for like having lots of different hustles, right? And
Got to do something.
It's all about the hustle, man.
Yeah.
That's all we do down south. We hustle, since kids. So,
Yeah.
it's just been in me for the whole time, just to hustle,
Well, and we were talking about this with William. We haven't posted this one yet, but our last guest was last Sunday, and we kind of got into setting an example for your kids, And I think having a day job, having a side hustle, they're not only able to like come and work, excuse me, for you at the arcade, but they're also seeing how much you're putting into everything for them.
Yeah.
So hopefully this kind of stuff hands down, right?
I hope so.
Yeah.
Sometimes I wonder if it'll backfire because it looks from the outside. I've sort of reflected a little bit. It looks kind of crazy. Like I actually don't
Right.
have hardly any friends who do this, what I do, trying to get involved in
I
so many
agree.
spinning plates. You know what I mean?
Yep.
And so with my kids, I don't know if they look at that and are like, yeah, there's no way I can do that, and I worry,
Yeah.
or if they look at me and be like, oh, I could totally do that. So I try to make it look super doable so
Right.
that they could be
Right.
like, this is a path for if you want to take it. Any of these spinning plates you could do if you wanted to,
Right,
right? You don't
right.
have to do like 5 things at once.
Yeah.
So
No, I agree.
who knows how that'll land over
Yeah.
time.
And I have friends that tell me like, you're crazy, man. Because I work all day and then I get done and I've got something going on here or
Yeah.
something going on with the podcast or I'm helping Hamp do something or whatever. And they're like, when do you have time? I'm like, that's my time. Like that,
Yeah.
I'm filling it by staying busy with these other things.
Yeah, I feel that. I feel like that too.
So-
Yeah.
I don't think it's a bad thing.
Yeah. No, but plus like the things that you do are worthwhile, right? And
Right.
you're doing a lot of community things. Like that's what I want to put my time into as well. So
Yeah.
for me, like what the arcade has become, like it started out, like I said, I want it to be a place where adults can like have a date and like their kids play and they play with each other. And I had this idea of fostering community from the beginning.
Right.
But what it's become was it's like community first. Like it's definitely a place where community happens, where
You guys are busy all the
people-
time.
we're busy, but people like make lifetime friends probably. I mean,
Right.
it's only been 6 years. Can't say that they were friends for their whole lifetime, but
Yeah.
we've all made friends for life at this place.
Oh, that's
It's like
awesome.
a family in a lot of ways.
Do you know if it was as popular before you took it over? I wasn't here at that time, so I'm not
Right.
sure.
Um,
Because it seems to be quite a bit of a staple now in this area.
yeah.
I mean, and
It
congratulations.
It
on
wasn't
that.
this popular right before I took it over. It was closed,
right.
and so, but that could be for various reasons. But I heard when
Sure.
it opened, people love to go there.
Okay.
But even then, it wasn't quite as aggressive of an arcade that is what I've made.
Have you heard
I went
people's-
off the deep end with like it was still great. It
Yeah.
just like, for example, there was like a couple couches and some consoles.
Okay.
And I've replaced that with like 20 pinball machines.
Right, right.
So it's like just different, like
Yeah.
a different vibe. So
Have you heard from people like, thank you so much for buying it and keeping it
Oh, yeah.
open?
Yeah, all the
Okay,
time.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All
And you
the
kept the
time.
name too, which is cool.
I kept the name. I thought that would be I thought a lot of people would appreciate that. I've had
Yeah.
one, now two. Thank you. People tell me they really appreciate keeping the name. And
I
I
think
did
it's cool.
I did on purpose because our neighborhood is really the Waterland neighborhood.
Yeah.
And it's the Waterland city is our town.
Right.
And so I wanted
Waterland Arcade right
I
off
wanted
Marine
them-
View Drive.
right. So I wanted everybody who lives here to feel like this is my spot.
Yep.
Right. This is my spot.
Part of the hometown.
But my last name is Bliss.
Yeah, that's true.
Like-
That is true.
I should have. I mean, part of me is like I could have worked that into my name somehow. So
Right.
I've always regretted that, and I did went back and forth a lot on it. It's like,
Yeah.
should it be like Bliss something? I don't know. Whatever. It's Waterland Arcade.
Water bliss.
It's gonna
Water
stay.
bliss.
Too late to change it now.
You didn't meet your wife on a like dating app, did you?
No.
Because Bliss, really?
I
Really? This guy's trying too hard.
Hot shot.
No, like I said, I saw it on Instagram and I was like, I don't know if that's his real last
Is
name.
that real?
or-
Yeah, it's my real name.
Okay, cool. Nice. So what is the newest game and what is the oldest game you got in there?
We just got it. Oh wait, oldest.
Because I know
game.
you got a pretty big array.
The newest game we have right now. Well, okay, so we're getting one tomorrow. So
Okay.
by the time this drops, this should be the
there.
newest game.
Okay.
So I'll tell it to you now. It's called The Perfect Pour. It's 4 beer taps. So it's an arcade cabinet with 4 beer taps.
Oh, really?
And you have 4 cartoon customers that walk up to the screen.
Okay.
And they're like various stages of thirst. And you
Okay.
got to pour them a beer. And so then your drink fills up like as you do it. And sometimes it's faster or slower. And you have the trick is they come up constantly and you're pouring beers like crazy.
Okay.
And so you're getting points for like how, and also if you overflow it, you lose points, or if you don't fill it enough and you hit
Really?
it like, so
You got to worry about the head on the beer.
you got to
too?
worry about the whole thing. Yeah. Just the accuracy. Right.
Really? Huh.
Yeah.
I'll be damned.
So
Perfect pour.
Perfect pour. That one will be here.
Sounds like some bartender training for
Yeah.
you.
Yeah,
Just send him over there.
Yeah, go over there to
my
play that.
goddamn self.
And there's beer holders there too, so you can bring your own like actual beer and set it in the game. And
That's cool.
yeah, I don't know. So I'm really excited about that one. Right before the one we got before that is called Kung Fu Kickball,
Okay.
and that one is also like a new game, but it looks kind of old. And it's like you have like a target in each side. You get like a basketball hoop almost to kick a
Okay.
ball into.
Uh-huh.
But in the meantime, you got to like fight each other before you like you don't want to let them get over there. So you end up just like beating each other up and also trying to kick the ball. I don't know.
Is it like the basketball game?
It's an arcade cabinet. No, it's an arcade game.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Gotcha. Okay.
And then the newest pinball machine is that we have at Waterland is called the Uncanny X-Men, and it's
Okay.
based on like the '90s cartoon style X-Men.
Very cool.
It's a really fun game. So.
That's awesome. What's the oldest game you got? Like a cat, like not like. Do you have
Yeah.
any actual old games, or are they
Yeah.
like
No, we have actual old games.
like the actual cabinet's old, everything's old?
Yeah, we have a few pinball machines from the early '80s.
Nice.
And we have some from the '70s also that
Okay.
are rotated out right now, but they'll come back. And then the
You rotate
oldest
into your house.
I have rotated them to my house. Yes, and
That's what I would do.
yeah, they rotated in my house.
Sneaky,
And then people sweat me. They're like, "When are you bringing that game back?"
Like
Jason.
when I'm done.
It's broke.
I get sweat almost every week, honestly, for people like, "Bring this game back, bring this game back."
Nice.
And so the other oldest video game though is maybe Black Widow. It's around 1980 or 81. I also have Galaga, which is another
Galaga's a
like really
popular one.
early one.
Yeah.
81. Let me see. I graduated high school in 81.
Yeah.
So let me see.
I was born in 81.
Black Widow. Black Widow was kind of a rare one. They didn't have you. You should come play it because you might not have gotten to play it.
Right.
Where like it didn't make it everywhere,
Yeah.
right?
Just don't break his shit, okay?
Yeah.
I won't break it. And trust me, I got to figure it out first of all before it gets broke.
That's cool.
Yeah.
What's your favorite game? Maybe not even in your arcade, but
Right.
overall.
Well, it's in my arcade.
Okay.
So whenever I go to the arcade, so oftentimes when I'm at the arcade, I'm dropping off a shipment of supplies or restocking something or whatever, dropping off stuff. So I'm at the arcade for short periods of time, frequently throughout the week.
Yeah.
But I try to play a game when I'm there. So I try to be like, before I leave, I'm gonna go play this game, and I have a few that I like make sure I play.
And that's because you love the game? You're not just testing it out?
It's because I don't want it to feel like work. I don't want it to feel like a job.
There you go.
And what I noticed when I
Keep
didn't-
it fresh.
Yeah, I noticed when I went there and didn't play, then it started to feel like work, and I don't want that. I want it to feel like I want to experience how fun it really is, right?
That's awesome, man.
So even though I'm technically there for like work
Yeah.
to do something and get something done,
Yeah.
I wanted to like receive the reward of the blessings of the arcade experience.
No,
you know what I mean?
it makes sense though, because I mean, you already have another job, right?
Yeah.
So you don't want this one to completely wear you down. So I
Right.
think that's a good method to do.
So I always try to
agree.
play something. So I'll tell you a couple games I always play. One is the pinball machine made after the Pulp Fiction movie
Oh, nice.
that came out last year, and so that's one of the more recent ones. But
Oh, it just came out last year.
Yeah, but the way they designed it was Quentin Tarantino had strict requirements for this game. It was like his
Really?
idea. He's like,
Very cool.
here's what I want the game to be.
Yeah,
He's
yeah,
like, can
yeah.
you guys make me a pinball machine?
That's awesome.
And so he's
Quentin
like, but I want
Tarantino
it to like,
certified.
I want it to be like it could have been in Pulp Fiction, meaning it can't have been made after then. So
Okay.
so it's like of the era that
Yeah.
things seem to be like in Pulp Fiction.
Sounds like 70s, right?
Well, technically, so that's what's fun about it. His style is very 70s,
Right.
even though it was
The
90s.
movie came out in the
I mean, it
90s,
was
yeah.
90s, but it had this like no place in time. But yeah,
it kind of did.
It had a
didn't
70s
That's
vibe
true.
though.
Yeah. Okay.
So yeah, the game has to kind of feel like a 70s and 80s game.
Okay.
Because we wouldn't even have a 90s game in Pulp Fiction, right? You would have a 70s
Exactly.
game.
Yeah.
And so they designed essentially a brand new 70s game.
That's cool.
Yeah. So that's at Waterland right now. And
Come check it out.
I play that one every time I'm there pretty much. And then my favorite arcade game is Robotron. It's
don't think I played that one.
82, I believe.
Okay.
This is two joysticks.
Mhm.
One controls or shooting every direction, and one is moving every direction. It's just
Okay.
like this very physical game. where you move.
Right.
It's like a workout to
Yeah.
play this game. It's
Yeah.
super intense, super fast, and it's a little bit like pinball because it's very random. And the movie, it's different every time.
Mm.
Not like Donkey Kong where it's like every time
There's
the
a
game's
pattern.
pretty much identical.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Robotron's like random, very different every time.
Okay.
So I like that excitement.
Nice. Are you a console guy too, or mostly arcades?
I growing up, console.
Okay.
Now arcades.
Now arcades.
I just feel like partly is I don't have time to get into console games these days.
Mhm.
I would love to.
Yeah.
There's been a few that I've bought and started, and then I realized that they need 80 hours of my life.
I'm the same way, man.
Yeah, and I'm like, I don't have 80 hours to
Yeah.
spend on completing this game. I want to.
Yeah.
It looks so fun,
Right.
but I
Right.
just haven't prioritized getting through console games.
Yeah,
But-
I have an Xbox. I bought a Nintendo Switch for up here
Mhm.
because,
Yeah.
like I said, I want to host a couple like Mario Kart tournaments and stuff. You know,
Yeah.
try and get some people in. Not trying to dig in on your your deal.
no, I saw it. I thought that was great.
Thanks, man. Thanks. Hopefully, some people sign up. But anyways, I did the same thing. And you know what I like about video games is, no matter what I got going on, you know, your brain. Look at this guy, right? Right now, he's thinking about other stuff. So
I'm listening. Trust me.
what I'm saying is, though, all of us, right?
Yeah,
We've all got a million miles an hour every day.
like and demands on our-
Demands flying.
from different directions.
The thing
yeah.
that I like about a video game, at least when I play, all that turns off
yeah.
because you have to be engaged in the game. You got to be paying attention to it. You know, the strategy of it, the movement of it, the hand-eye coordination of it. And I can truly turn off when I'm playing a video game.
Yeah.
Now, whether or not I have time to do that is another question. But when I do sit down and do it, I enjoy it. It's
Yeah,
just hard finding time.
For me, the difference between like arcades and console is time commitment.
That's-
Usually,
yeah,
so
very true.
a console game is immersive.
Mhm.
You're in this beautiful world. It's like you're engaging with a film,
Mm-hmm.
and there's a storyline, this narrative, and
Yep.
there's evolution in your character, It is one of the most beautiful art forms.
Yeah,
So
I agree.
it's amazing. I find, especially in the last 5 or 6 years, my attention span has like hit the toilet. Like,
Okay.
it's just like I almost feel like I have no attention span. And
Yeah.
so Robotron, I'm lucky to make it 5 minutes because it's just such a hard game, right?
Right.
So a good game in Robotron might be 10 or 15 minutes.
Is that big white one that you have?
No, it's
Okay.
just a regular cabinet
Okay.
size. So for me, like 3 minutes of Robotron, that hits my attention span. I'm like, I'm good.
Yeah.
You're done.
Yeah.
Pulp Fiction, pinball, like a game for me lasts 3 or 4 minutes, right? I'm
Right.
not super great at it. Even if I have a really good game, that's like 7 minutes maybe.
Right. That's
but,
what she said.
But yeah, you gotta,
Not to me.
yeah. But to sit down and play a console game is like I almost feel anxiety about like the attention it would require. So I don't know. There's something wrong with me.
No, dude, I agree.
Something broke at some point, and I
I'm
just
the
can't
same
do
way.
those anymore.
I'll look at it and go, do I really want to dedicate that right now? You
Yeah.
know, and it's funny too, because like now doing this podcast, I'm learning that a lot of people don't have attention span anymore. You know, I like long form podcasts. I'll sit and listen to 2 and 3 hours of podcast. I'll be doing other things, but I'll be listening to it. But here with what we're doing, and granted we're new, you know, it's going to take time. We get a ton of views on the shorts. The shorts are, I mean, we've got thousands and thousands of views on the shorts, which is great. Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you, everyone.
Yeah.
But for the long form, not a lot of people are
Yeah.
that interested
Well,
yet.
the shorts are a great way to dip in, right?
right.
Like dip in and out on like key moments. And then if you liked enough key moments, maybe you'll go watch the whole thing, right?
Watch the
So
thing,
that's a good way to kind of dip in.
Well, I wasn't even going to do video. That was his idea. Because I just listened to him.
Yeah, I told him. He said we need to.
You
do
can
a
always roll
podcast."
cameras. You get the podcast, and then
Yeah.
you get clips for free with
Yeah.
the video. So it makes
Yeah.
sense.
Right.
Yeah.
So yeah, we like.
And then
video.
transcribe it.
Yeah.
And then you got a book.
Yeah, there you go. There you
know?
go. I like it. So, how is it working on the new machines versus the old machines? And I ask because I work with electronics as well, and it is very difficult to integrate some of the newer parts that are out there with the older units that are still working.
Right.
Sometimes you can find some retro stuff that's built to fix that. A lot of times, you're like, the whole machine's busted because they don't even make anything for it anymore.
Right.
Do you run into that at all? Or?
So for arcade machines, the early ones especially. So eventually, arcade machines started to kind of standardize on certain formats, like the
that's good.
connector of bundled of wires that goes to all the buttons.
Pigtail that comes in.
Yeah,
plugged in.
that became standard in the mid '80s.
That's amazing.
But before that,
They don't even do that in cars.
before that, every game was different.
Okay.
And so we own games that predate those standard connectors.
Okay.
So there's ways to like buy a standard connector and then rewire the original wiring to be standard. We've done that a few times.
Like putting a new stereo in an old car.
with a harness, with
Yeah,
a universal
with a harness,
harness.
yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay.
Yeah, I did that a lot of times.
Yeah, exactly. It's like that. Yeah. Like we've standardized in cars, we standardized with those harnesses, but
Right.
you got to retrofit it and like rewire all your things. So yeah, we do that. But also sometimes there's so I have this one game called Gorf. It's another really early 80s game, and it has a certain joystick that was only made really just for that game. So it's not like regular joysticks. Like, and so
Gotcha.
if that joystick breaks, that game's done. Even though the
Really?
game works fine.
To be
now-
on eBay and stuff trying to source
well,
one, or
I own 3 backup Gorfs just for that reason.
the whole game. Oh wow! Got to do what you got to do.
Gorf
Right?
is important to me. People at home, you don't know like what we're going through. I want you to always be able to play Gorf. Okay.
Yeah.
So
is it
I
a
have-
popular one?
I mean, I don't think so. I wish it was. I'm telling you, kids at home now,
You
play
got-
Gorf.
You got back
Play
up
my
Gorfs.
Gorf.
I got
It's
back
a great
up
game, I
catfish.
promise. Yeah, eat the catfish. It's good.
I got back up in the kitchen. Okay, so keep eating. All right.
Nice. Well, you guys are a lot more than an arcade, though. I mean,
Right.
you've got a ton going. I see karaoke nights.
Yeah.
I see DJs. You have another podcast running out of there occasionally. So, kind of tell us
Yeah.
what are you guys doing over there?
Yeah, so so COVID was super interesting because COVID. So I would say the year before COVID, we did arcade. We were building an arcade, so we're like, let's get our arcade on firing on all cylinders. And then 2 of my employees were in our DJs in the drum
So the
and drum
employees.
and bass
Okay,
in
gotcha.
the drum and bass scene.
Gotcha.
So they already had this like. I hate to say, I don't know if career is the right word, but like they're like career DJs.
Okay.
And so they had expertise.
Mhm.
They're like, hey, we could do a DJ night. We know a ton of DJs. They knew all the DJs playing all the time in Seattle.
Nice.
And they would love to play in a venue like this. So we
Yeah.
created this venue, which kind of became like a DJ social club because when we do a a DJ night, it's usually 4 or 5 DJs playing, each getting about 45 minutes.
Oh, wow.
And then they are playing with each other. They're almost playing for each other.
That's cool.
So it became
Kinda like
this
battling
culture.
DJs.
Yeah. Oh, exactly.
That's
But
cool.
with this great like camaraderie and friendship.
Yeah,
so
of
they're
course.
playing for each other.
Yeah.
And so that started
good
in our
idea.
first year.
Okay.
And then when COVID hit, we couldn't really obviously do that anymore, but we could have a DJ play and we could stream it on Twitch. And so we started as things started to open up, like we would live stream a DJ set with the arcade as the backdrop.
Nice.
So over time, the arcade kind of became this like beautiful backdrop for
Right.
all kinds of things.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. No, that's
We've
cool.
had a lot of people. We've had people film their music videos for their bands.
Nice.
And on our website, we have like a media page. I think we link to some of those videos.
Okay.
Um,
Very cool.
we've had wedding receptions there just because it's like a cool backdrop for like
Yeah.
photos, and we've had photo shoots there just
Mhm.
because it's like oh
Cool
the
spot. to
color,
live.
yeah, it's just a cool spot.
Who doesn't live in arcade?
Right. So music has always been a big part of the arcade. And remember I said I wanted to own a lounge.
Yeah.
Right from the beginning. So when I first like in my mind and I wrote down all the things I cared about,
Mhm.
music was number 2 next to the games itself.
Okay.
So I wanted all the games to work. I was like, I want all the games to work and I want a wide variety of games. Next was there'll always be good music playing.
Yeah.
And so we have really, really good PA system, high quality stereo. We've always had really good sound system,
Yep.
like club level sound.
Nice.
And so
That's important.
it is
It is
important.
important, yeah.
So that's like from the day one. We
Mhm.
wanted like music to be really a big part of the arcade. That's like my way of getting kind of what I wanted,
Yeah,
which was
yeah.
a music focused bar.
That's cool.
And it's become that. It is definitely a music focused bar. But we don't have we haven't had any live bands play really. I mean, we have
Right.
a little bit, but we don't have a huge space. But when I see what
Right.
you're doing at Creole Soul with your space,
Yeah.
I'm like, oh, maybe I do have enough space.
Yeah.
Like,
We even
watch
built
it,
a little
watch it.
stage down there.
Yeah. Watch it.
no, I'm gonna cop your act, but
I got
well, you own live music. You got a corner on live music.
well, if you decide to, I know a guy that can build a stage for you.
Hey.
Oh, we don't have room
You
for a
selling
stage.
me?
Yeah, but maybe we could do live music in the future. But
Right.
we've focused on DJs because it's like such a finite space. It's like we
Right.
know exactly how much space it takes.
I tried to find a DJ before, on that little platform I got there. But I said, no, not going to work there,
Yeah.
where the couch is sitting there right now.
Oh, at
Yeah.
the back. Yeah, the
yeah,
back wall. Yeah.
put a DJ right there. But
Right.
then, before you just tore the pole on, but now that the pole is
Before I
gone,
went into demo mode.
now that the pole is down, it actually might work,
Yeah.
But we like the stage though,
Right.
because the stage sits in the corner. You get 3-piece band up there, and it
Yeah.
works perfect.
Nice.
Whether it's a 3-piece or 2-piece,
Yeah.
yeah.
we
Like
had this
yourself.
right.
Play keys
I'll play
by
the-
yourself.
Yeah, I'd love to. We had this like glass display case, like for jewelry or something.
Mhm.
We just took that and turned it into a DJ booth,
Okay.
right? I mean, we put LEDs under it.
Is
so
that
it
where,
kinda
don't you guys
lights
have
up.
like stickers and stuff in there too?
Well, we
or-
got rid of it
Oh, okay.
during COVID.
I haven't been in
I
it.
can't remember.
Oh,
but
it was in there after COVID. But yeah, anyways, go
now
ahead,
we use the counter in the bar, so the
Okay.
counter just becomes the DJ. But what's fun about that is all of the customers are just crowding around the DJ. So the DJ is like right there with everyone, and everyone gets to see him work, and
Yeah.
it's really fun.
That stuff's crazy, man.
Yeah.
I've messed around with some of those DJ turntables. That's another level right there. And you said you got some kind of old school style DJs that come in too?
Yeah.
Not with the newer stuff, right?
Right.
They're actually
Yeah,
spinning and
Well, yeah, on a given DJ night, we'll usually have some DJs on decks, on like digital decks, and some on turntable, like vinyl turntables, spinning vinyl.
very cool.
So we usually, almost always, probably have both every single DJ night.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Nice. Awesome. What about your karaoke nights? How are those doing?
Karaoke nights, every Tuesday night we have karaoke.
Yeah.
People love it. We have regular people who come for karaoke.
Very cool.
Again, it's another cool backdrop for karaoke,
Yeah.
right? It's like it's just a fun place to like belch your heart out, I guess, and
Oh,
sing
yeah.
karaoke songs.
Yeah, for sure.
Superstar. Become a superstar.
Yeah. and our KJ Teresa is like super experienced at leading karaoke, so she
That's
brings a lot of experience doing that.
Yeah,
to Waterland. So we're like really lucky to have her, because other places like get Teresa to just come in and do their karaoke.
Yeah,
But
that's
she's
what
one
she
of
does,
she's
yeah.
one of our like main employees already.
Oh,
So
cool.
It's awesome.
So it's
that
built in.
Yeah, built in.
Perfect.
Yeah, really
Yeah,
nice.
I'm Ham's karaoke guy when he runs
Yeah,
karaoke.
yeah. When I need karaoke, I like Joey. Time to get busy, man.
No.
I like to bully people into
She's
singing.
pro. No, she's pro. And then when she gets on the mic, she's like has an incredible voice too.
Nice.
So yeah, no, she's like leveled up the whole thing. Each
Very cool.
employee has like leveled up something. You know
Brought
what I
something
mean?
to the
Yeah,
space,
they
yeah.
and since I intentionally I'm like not there running it all the time. I'd have the employees do that. They each have to bring their own personality and their own stuff to the arcade. So what the arcade is now is really this amalgamation of like the people
Yeah.
who make up the arcade.
Yeah,
You know?
yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
No, it's cool.
It's
And
really
like I said,
special.
I haven't been on social media much in the past. I was never a big social media guy. I'm there a lot now for the lounge and for the podcast.
Yeah.
I see you guys all over it, man. You always have something going on. And then
Yeah.
there's just nights when I cruise down Marine View Drive and it's quiet, but I see the arcade popping. I see the door open. I
Yeah.
see people standing outside. So that's
Well, it
awesome.
wasn't always like that. Our first year, me and my team, we were like, we should have an event. We should do something cool every night of the month. Like every night there should be something, whether it's a movie playing or a karaoke night or a DJ night or a pinball tournament or an arcade tournament.
Yeah.
Or wear a horror outfit and we're gonna have listen to horror like
Nice.
soundtracks. And
Yeah.
so our calendars were literally something for 30 days in a row.
Wow.
Every month we would make a calendar with 30 things on it.
Man,
Nobody
that's a
came. Nobody came.
Oh, really?
Nobody came. Nobody came.
That's too much outing.
Yeah, nobody came. Nobody comes.
Right.
And so, but I love the idea of like, yes, there's always something going on there.
Yeah.
And so after COVID, we realized, okay, that didn't work. And so,
You live and learn, right?
so we slowly built back up. Like, what are our tentpole events, right? So we do DJ nights twice a month. Like
Okay.
that doesn't oversaturate the community on like DJ nights, right?
Makes sense, yeah.
And those are really well attended. So those are really, really fun. And then we do karaoke every week now, and which just for the past year we've been doing that pretty consistently. And then we do one pinball tournament a month. And now when we do another event, like a one-off thing, then hopefully it's more well attended instead of saturating like
that makes
the
sense.
noise. So
Yeah.
we found just doing fewer, and still it's hit and miss. We're still figuring it out with events and stuff.
It's hard here too, man, because
Yeah.
you can plan something, and if the weather doesn't cooperate, people just don't come out sometimes. You
Yeah.
know, and that's just part of being in this area. I think.
Yeah.
So
I mean, the hardest part is getting people to come out.
yeah, no,
That
it is
is
100%.
the challenge. You hear me? I want to ride around like they used to do in the old days with a PA system on top of the car.
Yeah.
And
Come out.
Come on out. We
It's-
got something
the food's
going
ready.
on.
Right. Yeah. Well, and the thing is you get so many people that tell you, and I'm
Yeah.
experiencing this a lot now with Hamp. A lot of people will come and tell you, you know what you should do.
Mm-hmm.
You know what a good idea
Yeah,
is.
you got notes.
And the thing is you might do that thing. We have done that thing. People don't show up. Even the people
Yeah.
that tell you it was a good idea don't show up. You know, so it's like, all right, thanks for the advice. Appreciate it. Appreciate you coming
Oh,
out.
I've experienced that a lot.
And that's
The-
why
the bet-
that's why I don't saturate the live band every week.
Right.
You know,
Yeah.
just too much. You know,
It's like pepper. Just
Yeah.
gotta
Pepper.
sprinkle it.
Yeah.
No, I get that a lot. People are like, "Oh, if you had this game, dude, you're the only one that doesn't have this game. If you had this game, everybody would be here." So then I'm like, "Oh, really? Oh, okay." So then I spent $8,000 on a game,
And that one dude
and nobody cares.
never
Like,
came back.
Yeah, it doesn't change the math at all for my place.
The bottom line, you know, people are like, oh man, if you put this on your liquor shelf, I'll be back. I got bottles up there that have been sitting
Right.
up there,
Got
got
dust on
cobwebs
them.
on it, you know,
Yeah.
because they never come back. You know, don't tell me what to
I
put.
That's funny. It happens though. It happens a lot. I can't. I think every time I'm at Ham's place hanging out, whatever, somebody's going to say, "Hey, you know what you should do." And now we're starting to get it here at the lounge. And I appreciate the input. Don't get me wrong. I really do. But there's a level of like, yeah, you want that, but does everybody want it?
Yeah.
And trying to figure out what everybody wants is difficult anyway.
Or who
so.
is important for you to cater to.
Yeah,
right?
exactly.
And not all audiences are of equal importance
Right.
to a certain business, right?
Yeah.
So it's hard to figure that out.
Well, it's like the whiskey tasting we did
Yeah.
here. We had a lot of people tell us, do a whiskey tasting. And we had a decent turnout, but a lot of those people that said they were going to be there weren't there. We did the wine tasting. It was amazing. We had a lot more people show up.
Yeah.
But people at the wine tasting were like, you should do another whiskey tasting. I'm like, well, we just did one, but you guys weren't here.
Ah.
You know, so.
Totally. Yeah. No, I had that happen the other day. Someone said, you should do something. I'm like, we did that yesterday. That literally was what we did yesterday.
I was at Hamps, actually. I think we were working on the stage or doing something, and he stepped out, and it was just me there. And a lady comes in, and she goes, oh, do you guys have live music? I'm like, literally had it last night. Like,
Yeah.
everyone was here but you.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
So DJ nights, karaoke nights.
Yeah.
What else you guys got going on that you want to push right now?
Well, I mean, a cornerstone of our business is private parties, and we do
I do see you guys advertise that,
about 4 or 5 private parties a week. So
you do that many?
Yeah, we do 15 to 20 private parties a month.
Nice.
And it's always been like the main thing for Waterland Arcade. Like
And
even
I've been
before,
to, I think 2 parties at your place. Yeah.
Cool, good, yeah.
Yeah.
And those are fun because they book the whole place out for just them and their friends, and all the games are free, right? So their friends just play. Whereas if you go to any other venue, you pay for the venue, and then everyone has to bring their own money for the games.
Yep.
And if your party's 2 hours, these kids are out of money within 30 minutes. Like $20 only lasts like 30 minutes.
And the parties I went to were adult parties.
Yeah. Oh yeah. We have adult party. We did a retirement party for a local Des Moines officer. We did a anniversary. We have a 75th birthday party coming up. So yeah, it's like all kinds of parties.
You have a 70th, right? That's the one on 22nd.
On the 80th.
Oh, 80th.
80th.
All right,
Yeah,
80th.
Yeah, 80th.
Yeah.
Yeah, they love it because the arcade has like when they see a game from the 80s, they're like, oh, I remember when this came out,
Yeah.
right?
That's what I did when I
Yeah.
walked into your place.
Oh,
Like,
yeah.
I used to love these, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah. That's why I ask you if it's kids or adults, because
Two-thirds
know.
adults,
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
We're introducing the kids to this generation of games, you
Yeah.
know?
Yeah.
And they're just as hard as they used to be. It's not like these games aren't relevant anymore, right?
Right.
Like,
No, they're still hard.
you think Frogger's old? Try it. You play that game,
Yeah.
and they're like, oh,
What was the one where you roll the ball and you got to blow up the lines before they...
Centipede.
Centipede.
Yeah.
Centipede.
Where it's just coming down. I'm coming to play Phoenix over there because I like when the birds come out of their cone and
Yeah.
Start shooting.
All right,
start shooting.
you know what? I'm gonna find an actual Phoenix cabinet just for you now.
Yeah.
Here we go.
By the way, I do
you know,
this
if
for
you had a
people.
Phoenix
If I
cabinet.
hear you, no, I hear this. I hear he remembered playing Phoenix.
Yeah.
At his dad's arcade.
yeah.
Yeah.
That you said it was a laundromat. He
It
turned
was-
into an
It
arcade.
turned into an arcade. Yeah.
And Phoenix was the one that like
Phoenix?
stands out for
Yeah.
you. Yeah, I'm gonna get you a Phoenix.
There you
Love
go.
Phoenix.
You better get your ass in there and play that game, boy.
When you hit that bird, sometimes you clip the wing and
It's a great game. Yeah.
It's a great game.
It's a great game.
Yeah, it's one of the
I don't think
one
I've
of the
ever played
best
that one.
games.
Yeah, it's a little bit like Galaga, right? Where you're like
Yeah.
at the bottom, and
Yes.
then the enemies are flying around you, and you're shooting them.
Okay.
In the early '80s, there was a lot of games that were like exploring those ideas of like first of all, like your ship doesn't move really; it can go side to side.
But it's
But
not
then they're
going
like, what
throughout.
if the ship could move around,
Yeah,
right?
like, what?
And this
Mind
was
blown.
like, this was like, what if you're a bird that's flying all over the place? And
Yeah, one of my favorite part on there was when you hit it, then it sucks you up, and now you got all these, you got
Multiple-
double, you got multiple
multiples,
guns. Yeah. That's
He's getting
it's
excited.
a great moment. It's like, yeah, now I have 2, and I'm shooting from both.
I'm
Yeah.
shooting. Yeah, exactly. Great game.
Big deal.
Great game. Phoenix, y'all. Look it up.
I'm gonna have to. If you get it, I'm gonna have to play it.
I think we have it on our multi-cade. I'll check after this.
Okay, cool.
But we deserve its own cabinet at this point.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
So I want to cover, and I don't know if there's different. I don't know what the right word is. Genres of games for arcade games, but I know
Yeah.
you've got like the cabinets, the digital cabinets, right? The old school, new school.
Yeah.
I know you've got pinball. I know you've got, at least last time I was in there, you had air hockey and hoops, right? So what else? What else? Kind of like.
Yeah, genre-wise.
There you go.
Um,
That's what I'm looking at.
Air hockey, hoop, skee ball.
I was gonna say
That's skee ball.
I call
Yeah, skee ball.
those like special games. I don't know. What do you call this?
Right.
Action
They're physical,
sports
right?
game.
Yeah,
Yeah, they're like
yeah.
sports games. So those are super physical sports games.
Mm-hmm.
Those are at the front. So interesting. Like when we first started, those were at the back in the back room.
Right.
And then we started adding pinball machines back there too. Well, then those games are super loud, and pinball players are like, I'm trying to like play pinball, and this kid is like throwing basketballs at me. You know what I mean?
Right.
So then I realized, okay, I need to separate the basketball game, the
Physical games.
special games
Special
from
games.
the pinball. So it's been like little things like that you learn, right? Like pinball has its own like. It almost like wants to be separate, right?
Yeah.
And so you start thinking about how do you create a space that's like the pinball room, right?
Right.
And then I love the idea of like rows of arcade machines, like rows. You know, like in the 80s, you walk in an arcade, there's it's like a library shelves of games. So I try to create those like rows.
Yeah.
Air hockey is like there's nothing you can do with air hockey.
No,
It's
it's
just
massive.
like it's like a pool table.
like a pool table,
It's just
yeah.
in the middle of everything, right? And it's loud, and we lose the pucks. I mean, look, that one's just for the children, okay?
I love some air
otherwise-
hockey, man.
I know everyone loves
So
it.
you're like,
But from like an arcade, like if you own an arcade, it's challenging. It's
Okay.
like where does it go? Like
Yeah.
how do I keep the puck from getting lost? And,
Right.
and
Well, it's like up here. People have said you should put a pool table. I'm like, okay, one, we got to get it up here. Two, the pool table
would
may
take
be
up half
this
the
big,
space.
but to be able to
Yeah.
stretch out to shoot
Oh,
and
yeah.
stuff, it'd take everything up.
no,
You
we
know?
couldn't fit pool.
I got a
here.
little stick that long.
Yeah.
A little
Pool
tiny.
stick. Yeah, I
Yeah.
sure do.
You need like a 10-foot pool stick, man.
No, I'm talking for when you got to hit the wall.
The walls.
It's like
yeah.
that Seinfeld
Yeah,
episode.
yeah,
Remember that?
Yeah. you unscrew your pool cue. Into
There you
it.
go.
It's a
Take
little
the just the top half.
Exactly.
But I don't know if there's any others, but it's really just like video games and pinball. Those are the main genres. I don't really get too advanced with.
No, that's cool. I just want to make sure we're touching base on
I
everything
think
you got in
so,
there.
Yeah, there was
You got
this,
a lot.
There was this cool one that I don't have called Killer Queen. A few places in Seattle have it. I think Jupiter might still have one. Maybe. Yeah, I'm pretty sure Jupiter has one, but there's like 2 in Seattle, and it's 2 big cabinets that each 5 people can play.
Oh, wow.
So you play 5 against 5, head to head,
Okay.
and it's a video game. But it's just cool to have like an idea of a video game that has 10 people playing at the same time.
Right.
Right. My place is too small probably to fit a game like that right now. Plus,
Sure.
I'd rather have 60 games than like one giant.
Yeah,
game,
the one
right?
big one. Yeah, it makes
That
sense.
was my next question. How many
Yeah.
games
We got
do you
60.
have in there?
60 right
I was
now.
just getting ready to ask you that.
Yeah, we got 60 right now, and one or two of them have like 150 choices that you can flip through,
Okay.
right? So I don't count those. Those count as one game, but like 60 plus a library of titles.
Nice.
Yeah.
Very cool.
Okay, yeah, interesting.
I touched on the podcast you had going out of there earlier. And so what is that? Is that? It's a sportscast.
Yeah.
And they're not affiliated directly with you. They're just using the space for
A
the
cool
backdrop.
a cool backdrop to talk about local sports, and yeah,
Nice.
exactly. So,
Did they hit you up, or how did that come about?
Teresa made that contact. You'd have to ask her. I forget what the genesis of it was.
Okay.
But
I was
yeah,
curious. I'd actually like to get them in here and
Yeah.
talk to them about what they're
okay,
doing too.
we can
so,
connect you guys.
Yeah, for sure. Awesome, man.
Yeah.
The
fun.
other thing I wanted to touch on real quick, you do have tables in there still, right? Like for seating?
Yeah. So seating has always been a challenge. It's
Yeah.
like, especially when I want to fill it with 60 stinking games.
Take the seats out, put more games in.
So after COVID, I went crazy with pinball, and I had 27 pinball machines in there.
Right.
And right now there's 18.
Okay.
So for context, so at one point I had almost 10 more pinball machines in the back.
Yeah.
And nowhere to sit. And so a friend of mine who owns a lot of arcades in the Seattle area, his name's Tim Uomoto. He's just one of the nicest guys in this like arcade scene. And he came over and he's playing. He goes, you have too many games. There's nowhere to sit. I was like, what do you mean? It's an arcade. He goes,
Yeah.
how are 2 like teenagers gonna have a date, their first date here, if they can't sit down and like gaze in each other's eyes? I don't know how he put it, but he's like,
Sure.
people can't sit down and have a drink. And then 3 weeks later, I had changed the place. Like,
Oh, really?
I take feedback.
Yeah.
I can't react to every single
Love
thing.
feedback.
But like a guy like him who I respect so much,
Sure.
right?
Yeah,
I was like a light bulb went off for me. I'm like, he's right. And I've had a lot of moments like that where I'm like, you're right. I have to change something.
No, that makes sense.
I can't make changes willy-nilly, but like I did realize, okay, yeah, we need some seats back here. So I took out 5 pinball machines, put in a booth, like a big bench with like, it's a booth from like literally from the 60s, like a diner.
Yep.
And so it's a cool place to sit. But yeah, there's a balance between like places to sit and things to play. So,
Right. Do you guys partner with anybody? Because you don't do food in there, right?
Right. No, people can bring food from anywhere.
Okay.
Yeah.
So
we
if they're
don't-
doing an event or something,
Right.
they just...
We tell people what's local. Like
Okay.
we say you can go to these places. Creole Soul. I always mention Creole Soul.
Food truck.
I'm like, you like catfish, right? So for catfish, you're gonna want to go to Creole Soul. For pizza, you're gonna want to go to
Right. I had pizza when I was there at the time.
Thank you
You
for
got the
shout
corner
out.
on the catfish, by the way.
Well, I tried to anyway.
Yeah.
Like I said, again, I'll challenge anybody with the catfish.
You get a lot of 10-year-old birthday parties where the 10-year-old's like, I got to get me some catfish.
Yeah.
Got to get me some catfish and some greens.
Yeah. I mean, and Kaihana caters too. So like anyone who does catering around here that can like feed 30 people are really great for that. So, but pizza and cake is pretty popular. People
Yeah, it's easy too.
Easy, yeah.
Real easy.
Yeah.
You guys feature any specific beers or anything? You partnered up with any microbrews or anything like that?
Yeah,
or-
we carry Heidelberg from Seven Seas.
Okay.
Seven Seas revitalized that Heidelberg brand, and that's like one of my favorite beers. So I literally carry that one just because I like it so much.
Okay. It's your place, right?
Yeah, no, and we also provide all the pinball machines at Seven Seas in Tacoma at their main brewery.
Nice.
So we have a little partnership there, which is really fun. So yeah, we like Heidelberg a lot, and the rest of the beers we carry are like just because they're really good beers.
Okay.
Right. So we have some of the Georgetown beers. We have, we have classics like Rainier that everybody likes.
Yeah. Everybody likes Rainier.
So we have a few staples.
Yeah.
And then we have some Fremont beers. Fremont and Georgetown are probably our most popular local beers. And then we do rotate. There's a few breweries that make these like tall boys that are limited. Like there's one with like a Jaws shark on it with like a funny slogan, and then there'll be like an Evil Dead one, and there'll be like there's these rotating themes.
That's cool.
So their rep knows our vibe really well. So when he comes over, he's like, oh, okay, I picked out these beers. They're like really special for the arcade, right?
Yeah.
So we like to rotate those as well.
It sounds like you get a lot of people that are just excited to be
They just
involved
love
with the arcade. Yeah,
Yeah,
that's
it's
cool.
true.
That's very cool.
Yeah, they just love
It's
the
kind of a
arcade.
built-in vibe that you got going that everybody wants to be a part of.
That's how I've gotten all my employees.
Yeah.
Literally, they all start as just like diehard, passionate fans of the arcade.
That's cool.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Any idea for a second location?
I don't.
No.
my anxiety just like spiked.
I thought
You want
it
to lay
would.
down for a second? We got a couch over here.
I had to ask, I mean, it had to come.
So,
What about you?
I know. Could you imagine? Right, another location. He's like, yeah, you want one?
Yeah, my goal is to do a huge dance club.
Oh, totally different venue. Totally different. Oh,
venue,
okay.
Yeah.
Okay. I'd still love a blues club someday.
Yeah.
Like that would be fun. This was a really good way for me to experience owning a business too, because
True.
I'd never owned a business before. So I've learned it was like a training wheels almost. It's not super complicated business.
Right.
A kitchen would be a whole other thing, right?
Yeah, for real.
To learn.
I
Trust
agree.
me,
So
yeah.
I'm glad I got into this without a kitchen.
Yeah.
Literally, there is no kitchen there, so I couldn't do food if I wanted to, right? I have ideas for other things I would want to do. Another big dream of mine is to own a wine bar. I'm from Napa, so I grew up around wine, and I have really deep wine knowledge. Mostly, I just love wine.
Yeah.
And so,
Who doesn't?
but what I really love is pouring wine for people. I love meeting people and talking about wine and just how happy people are when we're just like drinking wine,
Right.
So that's a big passion of mine that I can't do at the arcade because we can't serve wine. We only have a beer license.
I almost
I
signed a
thought
lease
wine and
for
beer
the
were the
place
same. You almost signed a lease for what?
downstairs when I first came, when I first got Creole Sold, right below us.
The one next door to you?
The one next door to me.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah, I was going to do a wine bar. The only thing that stopped me was that the place across the street next to B&E, they were serving wine. And then the Mercantile was talking about opening up. They was doing wine.
Yeah.
I'm like, there's just too much wine. Because I wanted to build a wall in there all the way with red on one side, white on the other side, with a nice, it's the perfect place to set up for wine bar.
Right.
When I was in San Diego, I saw this beautiful wine bar. It was all dark wood. And it wasn't really big, but the size of my place now. But it was laid out really nice, you know. And wine and cheese, and they had stuff on the table.
Yeah, again, that's small food, right?
Small
so you don't need a
food.
giant kitchen
You
for
don't need
that.
a giant
so
kitchen,
that's
no.
what that would be like my next idea because it would be food, but not like a full kitchen.
not like a full
right.
kitchen.
So I'd feel good
Exactly.
about that.
Yeah.
But yeah, you're right. There's the Marina Mercantile downstairs,
Yep.
and then I like to frequent Humble Vine and Burien, and so I'm just enjoying parking myself at these places, talking to the people next to me, and getting wine poured for me. But or I think I would be open to just working at one of those places.
I was
and
going to
just
say, sounds like you're
serving
going to
wine.
add another
Yeah.
job.
So really, like, there's nothing wrong with just like serving wine and just working there. And I don't need to own it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So that's probably my next step. Honestly, I'm not kidding. I've talked to.
That's cool.
Yeah, this
Keep
is
that in the back
seriously.
of the paddock.
Now, would you be like sommelier level? Are you that good?
There's a few certifications short of sommelier. So my goal is to have a few of those under my belt before I worked out or ran. So I've been studying for one of them right now.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. And then you have to like pay to take this official class where there's a final at the end. It's about a 5 to 6 week course. So I'm going to do that this year, I hope.
Okay. I say sommelier, but you said sommelier.
I can't even
I
say it
think-
at all, so don't
I don't-
worry.
I was going to ask if you know what that is.
Yeah, I don't have a clue.
I don't think either. I'll never be a sommelier though, because that is a very high bar. Like
Gotcha.
that's a super intense program. So,
Right. I mean, I know what it is. I've heard the
yeah,
term.
it's like a master's degree in wine.
Yeah,
I mean, it's like
I know a few people that whatever
it's
that
to be
word
respected
was.
for sure.
But-
It's actually they don't even say sommelier; they say som. I'm a som.
oh, really?
Yeah, they shorten it
I
to
didn't
som.
know that.
It's a big word.
I guess I've never actually met one then.
Well, the owner of Humble Vine is a som. So
Okay, I haven't been there.
yeah, living in
that's
San
great.
Diego, I met two of them. You know, that were they just know everything that is about wine. And
said it-
can-
They said, "Hey, I'm a Som," and you said, "Nice to meet you, Som."
You're Sam?
Yeah.
We were sitting up there, they were spinning the glass. I was like, what are you doing?
Yeah.
She's like, I'm
Oh,
looking
yeah.
at the legs or lay. What is it?
Legs. Yeah.
the alcohol streak. It's like
Yeah,
the streaks it
you
leaves
know.
in the glass. It
Yeah.
kind of indicates alcohol content.
Yeah, I was like, okay, whatever. Okay, give me a root beer, please.
When we had the wine tasting up here, she had brought some buckets.
Mhm.
And, I mean,
To spit it in or pour it out.
Exactly. And I've done wine tastings. I'm not a spitter.
Yeah.
I'm paying, I'm drinking.
Yeah.
And I think when it was over and I was cleaning up, it looked like maybe one person, maybe. It might have been water too that got dumped in there because it was definitely a white. It wasn't a red. And I'm like, yep, nobody spit that stuff out, which is good,
Yeah, I think some people, they know they're in for like a big night of tasting. So
Mm.
they're like, if they get poured more than they feel like drinking, because they're like, I don't want to drink this
Be
much. So
Hammered at the end of the night.
they'll like try it and then just like pour the rest out and then try it and
Oh,
pour
I
the
see,
rest
I
out.
see.
So it's just a way
It's
to like
just
not get
spitting
trashed.
sometimes. Okay, that makes
Yeah.
sense.
Yeah.
I'm like,
I don't do it, but
I'm out of here, man. I'm finished.
I drink the whole thing. I like to drink the whole thing.
We still got 3 more wines. Nope.
Yeah.
I got an Uber. That's what I got.
That's why I don't drink. I don't have those problems. I'm trying
Yeah.
to figure out how many legs the wine and
Yeah.
what there was. I bet some.
Sommelier. Sommelier.
That one too, you know. So I mean, like, I'm an expert, okay? I'm an expert.
So you want to own a dance club? Is that what you
I
said?
want to own a dance club.
Yeah.
Yeah, I actually want to do a dance club. Huge. I used to do one. Used to have one back in Dallas, '98. Huge, 1,700 people.
Wow.
But I want to duplicate that one
Yeah.
out here. I think the PNW location first of all.
Uh-huh.
You know, we was
Yeah, I
in,
don't know if that'd be. I mean, people could travel to it, but Des Moines, I don't know if you're going to pack.
No,
a
not
dance
here.
club that
Not,
size.
not here in Des Moines. Me and Catwoman, we was at what stores are closing? Party Cities.
Oh, the Party Cities.
You know,
Yeah.
so I think if I find a building like a Party City in a nice location,
Mhm.
that would be a good place to build because it's
Yeah, 'cause
wide open
Yeah.
They're close. Yeah, they're
and they're
seasonal.
closing.
Yeah.
And they're closing out. So it would be probably get a good steal on it, you know,
Yeah.
for that reason. And that's what I would convert into a bar. So
Yeah.
I've been looking into that.
Nice.
Yeah, been looking into Party City locations. Got Catwoman trying to. She's like, no, you don't want to do Federal Way because nobody's, you know, it's
Yeah, I
off the
don't
beat.
know.
You know,
That the location of that Party City in Federal Way too was probably not
yeah. So
what you want.
yeah, so I just been writing stuff down and locations and see. I don't know this area at all.
Yeah.
You know, I'm used to flying.
That sounds fun.
But driving, I need help driving.
Yeah.
Fine, you know. How do I get to Puyallup? You know, how do I get to something?
It's not close.
You know?
Well, it's hard out here too. I mean, I come from Phoenix, and that's a big grid. You know, everything
Mm-hmm.
here's a hill and a blind corner and trees, and holy shit, there's water right there. I got to turn around and go the other way. You know, so
Yeah.
it's difficult to learn.
I'm
the area.
61. I figure by 64, 65
Yeah.
is where I want to get this
Do it.
accomplished. You know, so
Yeah.
yeah. So, life lasts, death pass. You know, so
That sounds fun. As far as another arcade venue, I don't know if I would. I don't know if I would. I've gone back and forth. Like the idea of owning a really big one. Like I wish I had more space.
Right.
I feel like if I could just have. I would love to have like a bigger space.
that's why I
But-
ask you if you had a second location.
Yeah.
For that reason.
Yeah, exactly. Because I've literally outgrown
Yeah.
my space, but there's no replacement for my location.
Right.
Right in the middle of the strip, right down here. So as far as this town goes, it's a really, special little location. Especially when you see people eat your food or enjoy your place.
Yeah, I've said this over and over again in Jordan and Alex that every time somebody from Louisiana come in the house,
Yeah.
they're like, "Oh man, this is great." That's all I need to
Yeah.
hear. I don't want to hear anything
Right.
else.
They're not like, for Seattle, this is really good.
Yeah.
Louisiana food."
Right. Right.
Yeah.
They're going to be like, this is good regardless, even
Yeah.
for Louisiana.
And I've been blessed for the last
Mhm.
3 times. Everybody from Louisiana came from Baton Rouge, Louisiana. They're like, "Oh, we love this. Is good. This is
Yeah.
home." So
Yep.
yeah, it's a good feeling though. People PLW be like, "You sure you did that right?" Have you ever had it? No.
Right.
I done it right.
Just so you know, it's done right.
That's right.
Just so you guys know, we are back on. So.
Oh, yeah.
We're
Okay.
all good.
Well, when Katie and I were down in New Orleans and we had some food down there, we were like, oh, this is like Creole song.
Listen, I wanted to take that trip
That's
with
great.
you guys so bad.
Yeah,
you know,
that's
I tried to sneak in there with you guys so bad, but I'm glad you guys went. You know, yeah.
Hey,
Yeah.
but that's pretty good. You got people from up here going down there. Saying,
And we're like, oh, this is like
this is like.
yeah. I said, can I see the chef? This is like what we get in Seattle.
Yeah. Right. Like, what the hell did you say to me?
Two Mardi Gras, last Mardi Gras. When was Shani with me?
Oh, man. That was probably almost 4 years ago.
Well,
now?
the last time the Saints played the Seahawks.
Okay.
Okay, a couple of years ago, we was getting ready to walk in the Superdome. Like, guy out of nowhere, he's like, "Man, that guy's from Seattle. He got the best soul food, you know." I've been to his
And
restaurant.
when you were in,
I was in New
NOLA?
Orleans.
Oh,
Yeah,
man.
yeah.
That's
I was
awesome.
like, "Yeah, this is great," you know. Yeah. I was like, "Yeah."
Light it up.
Light it up. So yeah, so it's a good thing, you know. I mean, a good feeling, you know,
Yeah.
when somebody actually love, you know, your food, you know.
Yeah.
Yeah, for sure.
You know, so I
Even
love
just cooking in your kitchen at home, you know,
Mhm.
for your family. When you cook something, you spend all day working on it, and they're like, I don't like it. You're like, really? You know, on the other side of that, you do it, and everyone's like, oh my God, this is the most amazing thing you've ever made. You're like, yes. So on a much grander scale, I totally understand. Yeah.
Yeah, so I used to taste I don't even taste my food anymore because I've been tasting it so long. I've been eating it so long. So I know exactly how much seasoning to put on there. And I know that it's going to please you because I know it's done.
You have
right.
it down. You got your technique
I got it
though.
down. Yeah. I don't have to worry about, oh, I wonder what it's going to taste like.
Yeah.
The only thing I usually taste coming out of the kitchen are my grits.
Mm.
Yeah.
You know, my grits has to be right.
And it's not because the consistency can
Yeah,
change, so you
the
got to make sure it's
consistency
right.
can change completely. You know, either too thick, too sloppy, too
Yeah.
loose. You know, so
Yeah.
it has to be just right, and it has to be salted right. You know, so it's best to
And lots of butter.
lots
So
of
we haven't eaten. We're getting hungry from hearing this
I
conversation.
know, right? I'm dude. I don't get to eat till tomorrow.
And he's closed right now. We can't
I
even
know,
go down
I
there
know.
after this and eat.
I know. Torture. You know he's got stuff.
We gotta
in
do
there.
these on Thursday.
Well,
But
we're at about an hour and 20 minutes.
Okay.
I try to keep it at an hour. We blew over, which is fine. That's always good. It means we had good conversation.
Yeah.
Totally want to have you come back in. I just
you.
don't want to make this so
this
long
was
that
fun.
people are like, I'm not listening to it.
Right. Oh, you can cut out most of this. Come on.
So that's you. That's you getting into the editing like he does.
Yeah.
Joe will fix it. So
Yeah,
I'll just-
that's
it.
right. I mean, like, Joe fix it. Don't worry. Just
Nobody
do what you wanna
cares
do.
that I like Robotron.
No. I like to run the full thing. I mean, I'll edit where everything kind of got screwed up, but
Yeah.
I like to run it raw. So, Hamp, you got anything else for Jason Bliss here?
No, man, thank you for coming over. I'm
Yeah.
glad you got a chance to go to New Orleans, experience some good food, and also here at the well, you know.
I
And,
know.
I'll let you know when I'm ready to do that Blitz nightclub.
Blitz nightclub.
I like it. Anything you want to push right now for the arcade? I mean, I think it was a good conversation. We really got into what you guys are doing over there,
Yeah,
what you got
good.
available. So
Yeah, no, I mean, the arcade's a great place in this town. It's like we're trying to kind of wake up the town, you know, because this town can be pretty sleepy.
it very
And-
much
Yep.
yes, it can.
That's what we call a bedroom community, right? People come here to be quiet, and then they go to work, and then somewhere out like Seattle or
and they
something.
go
So I
party
get
somewhere
it.
else. Yeah.
But like locally, we have some really cool stuff locally. Like we do have really good food.
Yep.
And the arcade's a pretty exciting place, honestly, for
Yeah.
this town. Like it would if we were in Seattle,
Mhm.
it
Place
would
be popping.
it would yeah. So there's a huge difference just in like our location, like where we are.
Yeah.
But for this town, everyone should take advantage of it, right?
Yeah,
like
I agree.
it's like having a really great Seattle spot, like right here.
Yeah.
So I hope that more and more people are like, okay, I'm gonna come. I'm gonna come. So I think people are like, I don't want to go to an arcade. You know what I mean? They're just not. It's not on their radar.
Right.
But it is a place of gathering, you know, in that sense, more like a pub in
Yeah.
that sense, right? So I feel like it's the vibe of the place that's more important. The
Yeah.
games are like the backdrop now.
Yep.
So it's not like let's just go play games. It's more like let's go to a very cool place where I can meet with friends, meet other people,
Yeah.
and hear good music. So you can always hear good music.
It's always got a good vibe in there too.
Yeah, always a good vibe.
And that's what you want, a nice,
Yeah,
cool place. I
a cool
consider my
place.
place to be cool, you
Yeah.
know. Whether I got 3 people in there or 20,
That's
you know,
right.
it's cool.
Yeah, you set the vibe with your art.
Yeah.
Right, and with the the decoration, the color scheme,
Yeah.
the smells, like everything, and the furniture too.
Yeah.
So yeah, same. I always had a huge art focus. So if you see in my place, There's an insane amount of art on the walls.
Yeah.
And it started out like I bought art to decorate the place, or I'd bring art from my own collection that I liked, that I thought was funky and would like add to the vibe. But then when 2020 hit, we were like, okay, we need more ways to make money. So we put art on the walls and put price tags on everything. So that was the first time everything in the arcade technically is for sale.
Are they local artists or just?
Yeah.
Okay.
A lot of local artists.
Very
Yeah.
cool.
And
You
we
guys do the art
We have
walk and everything?
murals in our arcade from 4 different artists. So we have 4 murals, all from local artists.
Nice.
Yeah.
Awesome.
And we sell prints and other things from local artists too.
Very cool. You guys do the art and wine walk and everything?
Yeah. Well, we want to.
Okay. You have did you do the ones in the past?
Yeah.
Okay. Yes.
But it ended. There was.
I think last year, it got kind of kiboshed last year, but
I'm excited. I hope, and we will participate when there is anything like that.
nice.
Yeah.
Awesome. Cool, man. I think I'm good. Anything else, guys?
No, thank you for having me. This is
thanks
awesome.
for coming, man.
It's
Really
really fun.
appreciate
I
you
love
being a
spending
guest.
time with you guys. So
Yeah. We should figure something out where we can all connect and do something together. So,
Take us out of here.
All right,
man.
sounds good, guys. Thanks.
Joe and Hampton, lights dim, it's game time. Interview sharp, cut through like a shank line. Stick lounge, stories unfold, real and raw. From hustlers to dreamers, breaking laws with a claw. Microphone warriors, capturing life's conflicts. Sitting across legends, tales flick like black pics. Drop bars, not mics, knowledge, it rains. From the streets to the beats in every vein. Stick lounge podcast, tales heavy with the weight. Real lives, gritty stories, never fake. Joe and Hampton, digging deep, no facade.